Did you know that the naming of Hoover Dam may have affected the 1932 presidential election? That one famous dam outside of Las Vegas has gone by two names. The dam is officially named for Herbert Hoover, the 31st president of the United States. But the original name for the project was Boulder Dam. But the truth is, neither one of those names actually makes sense. You see, the dam is not actually built in Boulder Canyon. This is Black Canyon, and Boulder Canyon is way up here. It was the initial obvious place to build the dam because the canyon walls were so close together, but then they surveyed Black Canyon further downstream and figured that this location would impound a whole lot of extra water. Not to mention that it was closer to Las Vegas and easier to get to. Of course, once you start a federal project, it's really hard to change the name. And Boulder Dam stuck with it all the way through the planning process. That is, until this guy came along. This is Ray Wilbur, President Hoover's Secretary of the Interior. President Hoover took office in March of 1929, just a few months before the stock market crash that led to the Great Depression. And in 1930, while tens of thousands of people were out of work, this guy showed up for the groundbreaking ceremony in Nevada for the Boulder Canyon Dam. And this guy thought that now would be a good time to give a very tone-deaf shout out to his boss. Going completely off script, Wilbur announced that this new project designed to put Americans to work would be named Hoover Dam. Remember, Hoover was still in office at the time and extremely unpopular. The tent cities that sprung up all over the US with unemployed, unhoused people were being called Hoovervilles. This would be like the current president dedicating a building to himself for like the Biden Center for Mental Acuity. Or the previous president setting up a building that was like the Donald J. Trump Center for Disease Prevention. Just like cartoonish levels of tone deafness. In 1932, FDR easily beat Herbert Hoover with a sweeping electoral college victory. In Boulder City, the company town set up to house the workers, they actually attempted to suppress the vote by not allowing any polling stations within the reservation. When they finally did open polling in Boulder City, the workers broke 80-20 to FDR. President Hoover actually visited the active construction site just a couple weeks after he lost his re-election bid. Here he is posing inside the diversion tunnel. When Roosevelt inevitably became president, he was quick to distance himself from anything with Hoover's name on it, including and especially Hoover Dam. In fact, at FDR's dedication speech at Hoover Dam, he used the words Boulder Dam 14 times. After World War II, the Los Angeles Times would mount a massive campaign to reinstate Hoover's name on the structure. So while the name got changed back and forth several times, the fact that it was ever named Hoover Dam in the first place really worked against his presidency. Definitely didn't help in his re-election. Not only is Boulder Dam not located in Boulder Canyon, but Herbert Hoover was not the president who authorized the dam's construction. It wasn't Roosevelt or Hoover, it was this guy, Calvin Coolidge. So I guess the lesson here is that if you're an unpopular president trying to get a second term, maybe don't go naming things after yourself.